Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. And I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's a beautiful day here. I'm enjoying it while I can because I know it's going to change soon. You can already feel the nip in the air, already feel the nights are getting cooler. So yeah, as you can see, I've got my sweater on in order to stay warm in this beautiful morning. So welcome. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body-mind expert. I'm a shiatsu massage therapist, and my specialty is helping women who are going through narcissistic relationships, either looking to separate, in the process of divorce, healing after divorce, finding a new relationship, deciding to stay for the long term, at your work, whether it's a boss or coworker, whether your parents are getting older and they were narcissists and you're trying to do some healing work around that. Maybe you've got health issues around narcissistic abuse. All of that. I do the whole ball of wax. So today we're talking about gaslighting. So gaslighting, it comes from, I believe, an Alfred Hitchcock movie. I'll have to look that up. Don't quote me. But basically it's where someone says things or does things that make someone else question their own sanity. And they do it purposefully, and they do it not because they really care. But it's something where there's a lot of denial, there's a lot of innocent looking, like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's a lot of pushback. You must be the one that's crazy. I don't know why you're saying these things. I feel completely undermined. I think you're gaslighting me. All of that, where it's that innocence or pushing back of questioning. And many, many women, here's the upside of gaslighting, because gaslighting is focused on how crazy the other person is, and in fact doing things which encourage that mindset, which encourage that mental break and that questioning. The benefit of that is a lot of women have gotten help and gotten out of their relationships because they got help, because the narcissist kept insisting that there was nothing wrong with them, that it was the woman that had the problem. They were the one that was clearly struggling, and maybe they should go see a therapist. I can't tell you how many women have come through my doors after the fact, 10, 15 years later, and said, them insisting that I was crazy and that I needed help was just the thing that I needed, because it got them into therapy, it got them getting help, it got them thinking differently, it gave them the support that they needed that they'd never had before, and new ways of thinking and doing and being and interpreting, and they were able to break free. So the fact that you're here watching this, especially if a narcissist is gaslighting you, congratulations, because this is an important step where you start to learn a bigger reality, something that's bigger than what the narcissist says reality is, and you start to gain your power back and decide for yourself what you want to believe, irregardless of what anybody else says. When I was a kid, when you grow up in a difficult environment, there are a lot of secrets. And there's a lot of you questioning yourself as to whether, you're crazy or not. And that comes from secrets, that comes from people wanting to hide things, it comes from, not wanting the neighbors to know, not wanting, people to know. It comes from self-judgment. It comes from people not even being able to admit to themselves that something going on. Now, all of this is a mental and emotional response sort of to stress. And a lot of gaslighting, I think, starts out not with some sort of malicious, evil intent. I think it comes out of where everything with the narcissist starts with, which is how the narcissist feels. The narcissist feels insecure. The narcissist feels angry. The narcissist feels out of balance and vulnerable. And how are they going to feel like they're in control again? By trying to control the people that give them that power. So unfortunately, gaslighting and you, the victim of gaslighting, is collateral damage to the inner world of the narcissist. And because you're the one that they have chosen, that you have walked in and said, okay, I'll be in a relationship with you, that's how they're expressing their insecurity. That's how they're expressing their anxiety, is by complete and total denial of who they are. Now, narcissism is a mental health issue. There's an awareness and a consciousness, but there's a lack of empathy. Many times when a narcissist is trying to make the people around them seem crazy, it's because they're trying to deflect. They're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to push back. They're trying to put that wall up. Now, you can have compassion for that, which is awesome. But compassion isn't about, oh, they're there, this must be hard. Compassion is, this is unacceptable, and this is what I believe and what I'm going to follow. And you can choose to continue living in that world that you're living in, that everything is my fault, but I know better. That's just not true. The way to get out of gaslighting is to start choosing for yourself what you want to believe. Gaslighting only works when you question yourself, when you already doubt yourself, when you think that you don't have the answers, that you are broken. A narcissist, through their collateral damage of their emotional state, makes you think that it is your fault. Now, you can take this on or you cannot. You can listen to it and believe it, or you can believe for yourself that, wow, they must be really struggling, that they're defending so hard. I wonder why they're defending so hard. When you can flip yourself from defensiveness, oh my gosh, what if they're right? I am crazy. I've always had problems, to, no, this isn't about me. This is what I choose to believe. I'm going to validate it on my own way. I'm going to, check in with it, find some people that I trust, whatever it may be. That's the difference. It goes from you believing that they might be right. What if they're right? To recognizing, you know what? You are going to own your truth. You are going to decide for yourself what you want to believe, and not just keep believing the things that you were told, that were imprinted on you, that rewired your brain when you were younger, or the things that you came up with to explain a situation. You as an adult woman, you get to decide what is true for you and what isn't, and you get to change your mind. So how do you break out of gaslighting? How do you stop believing that someone else's internal need to defend and manipulate in order to protect themselves actually has something to, how do you break out of thinking it actually has something to do with you? Because it doesn't. Someone's gaslighting is about them needing to feel in control. And as a side benefit, they get to play with you. They get to make someone seem crazy. And that's entertaining. Because when it's not you, when you're not the one feeling crazy, when you feel like you have more control over a situation, it's entertaining. So not only are they naturally deflecting any sort of feelings that they have, but they get the side benefit of the fact that you reacted, the fact that it made you crazy. And isn't that fun? Doesn't mean that they're malicious. A lot of times they're just narcissism is about being super self-absorbed, being completely unaware of the experience of other people, especially the people that you love. Now, some people, they don't necessarily want to be that way. They are that way. They don't know quite why they are that way. It's a reactionary thing. It could be chemical imbalances. It could be adrenals. It could be cortisol. It could be brain imbalances. They don't know why. They just behave this way. And they've gotten away with it for so long because the other person agrees to take it on. The other person says, hey, I'll take the blame for your emotion. I'll believe you. I'll believe that when you say I'm crazy, that I'm crazy. So if you don't want to hold on to the anger, although you certainly can if you want to, but it doesn't do you a lot of good to hold on to it for too long. If you don't want to hold on to the anger of the past, of when they've gaslighted you, look at it through a different lens. Look at it as in, they were defending and they were trying to feel in control of the situation because they felt vulnerable, because they felt tired, because they were questioning themselves for something that had nothing to do with you. And because you believed it, because you believed in them, because you didn't know any better, because you were trained to believe those sorts of things. You're supposed to believe that someone that you care about is interested in your feelings and your best interests. And maybe they are on some level. And a lot of narcissists are, if they're on the, more left side of their issue rather than the full-blown narcissism. They do care. They don't know any better. This is where tough love comes in. When you start to love yourself, when you decide for yourself what you want to believe without any anger, without any judgmentalism, just an acceptance that this is the experience the other person is having, they must be having a difficult time, that they feel that they need to control the situation. They must feel very vulnerable about this to push back so hard and try to manipulate so hard. It's not about reacting to their experience. It's about deciding. So how do you decide what you want to believe? First of all, I start out with when I have a reaction. Sometimes I even pull tarot cards. I think it's a lot of fun to use those. They're insights into my own psyche. And I'll say, is this something, let's say I get angry. They say that I'm a liar and no good. And I'm angry about that. The first thing I ask myself is, do I believe that? Is that true? And then you kind of look back on your life and you say, wow, maybe it is true. Maybe I didn't know it. Maybe I am a liar. Maybe I'm lying to everybody and I'm completely unaware of it. Oh no. And then you ask yourself, is this what I want to believe? Do I want to believe I'm a liar 100% of the time? I'm no good. I'm worthless. Because everybody lies about some things on some level, even if outwardly they're truthful about every single, T being crossed and I being dotted. We're then lying to ourselves about what we think and what we feel. Because we are all a balance of a little bit of everything. So I'm going to suggest to you, I didn't finish how you change your mind. So, okay, you ask yourself if you want to believe what you believe. Do I want to believe that I'm no good and a liar that doesn't deserve any love? No, I really don't want to believe that. So then you start looking at your past. You start looking at the present. You start creating experiments in your world to prove to yourself that you aren't a liar 100% of the time, that you aren't worthless and not worthy of love and no one will love you. You start challenging that belief in your own life. The only way that gaslighting works is if you believe on some level, somewhere, that what the narcissist is saying is true. And the emotional reaction you have is your cue that part of you believes it's true. And so you have to start looking at evidence like a CSI investigator. You start looking at evidence that prove that what they're saying may only sometimes be true, but not all the way true. That you're a human being with all sorts of shades and colors and things going on. And they just picked up on the one that would cause you the most distress in order to gain control. So really it's a gift. When a narcissist calls you something or makes you feel like you're the crazy one, an emotional reaction comes up, it's an opportunity to rewire your brain and to rewire your nervous system. Because you don't know what you believe until you have a reaction. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we believe until we interact with something that we think we're not. And so when a narcissist says, you're a liar, and you say, no, I'm not, that starts the argument. But if they say, you're a liar, and you're like, wow, they're really struggling with lying somewhere in their life. I wonder what they're lying about. That's curious. And am I a liar? You know what? Sometimes I'm a liar. Sometimes I lie to myself all the time, thinking that everything's, I don't know. I lie to myself about my feelings. Oh, that's a big one. I lie to myself about my feelings. I used to all the time. I would deny them. I'd shove them. I'd tell them they were no good. I'd push them away. I'd tell them they shouldn't be there. I'd deny that I would get angry. I would deny that I would get hurt. I'd deny my feelings. And that's lying to yourself. But you lie about everything? No. Oh my gosh. But because we have this guilt, because we have this fear that what they say might be true, guilt that somehow it's good or bad, that nobody ever does it but you, that it means you should go to jail, whatever it may be, When you believe it and a narcissist pushes that button, it rises up for you to change your mind. Because if you don't change your mind, then they'll be able to keep pushing that button indefinitely because it works. And they like it. They like pushing that button and making you freak out and think you're crazy. Feels good to them. And so when you resolve this, they can no longer push that button. You diffuse it. You take that landmine and you detox it from your body. You rewire your brain and your nervous system by giving yourself conscious, positive experiences that belie the truth. That belie, what they're trying to make you believe is true. And you'll end up on the other side saying, you know what? I'm a human being. It's perfectly fine. If they want to call me a liar, yeah, sometimes I am a liar. Absolutely. No problem. Thanks for bringing it up to my attention. I appreciate you letting me know and for telling me how you feel. That many times is my script. Thank you for telling me how you feel. It's a nice way to not take it on. This is about them. This is about their experience. It has nothing, when a narcissist is involved, it has nothing to do with you. You are the collateral damage for their level of insecurity. Okay? So, if a narcissist is triggering you by gaslighting you, the first thing you need to do is ask yourself, is this true? And you also ask yourself, is this something I want to believe? Is this serving me? Is me reacting and thinking that I'm no good and I need help and I'm all screwed up, is this serving me? Maybe I am screwed up. Maybe I do need help. In fact, I get help about things all the time. I just added a couple new healers to my team, that help keep me in a good place, help keep me in where I need to be. Narcissist gaslighting you can be one of the best things because it pushes you. It pushes you to question yourself. It pushes you to get assistance. It pushes you to start rewiring your brain and taking back your power. It's a great catalyst for change. So if they're gaslighting you, here's what I suggest. Thank you for telling me how you feel. I really appreciate it. And then go on with your day. Because when they stop finding something that pushes your button, after a while, they just stop doing it. Because it's not working. Because they're not really trying to make you think that you're crazy. They're trying to feel better. And the only way they're going to feel better is when you react. So when you get angry, when you call bullshit, when you, freak out, which is normal and perfectly understandable, but when you do that, that feeds the dynamic and that feeds them because that's what they're looking for, a sense of power and control because they feel so insecure, so out of control, tired, vulnerable, all this stuff. And you happen to be the one that allows them to do that. And when you start saying, I'm not going to believe what you tell me anymore, you don't have to tell them because that'll just take it down a rabbit hole, unless you want to fight, which can be entertaining. But you tell yourself, you know what? Sometimes this may be true, sometimes it may not be true. But either way, I'm going to choose what reality looks like. I'm going to stop letting everybody else tell me what my life is, who I am, what I think, how I feel. And you start owning what you've decided you want out of your life. Okay? So super cool. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're having a hard time with this, then I suggest you reach out to me. We got a few different options, from group coaching to one-on-one coaching to a strategy call where we lay out a path for you about where you want to go and how you want to get there, to books and resources and the healers that I work with. We can sort it all out. So if you reach out, we can put you on a good path and keep you moving forward, okay? So today, I want you, let's see what you should do. Oh, you know what? This is a fun day to question something. Come up with something that they've been gaslighting you about that you're particularly responding to, you have a particular emotional reaction to, and I want you to be a little objective about it and start looking for examples in your life that say that what they're trying to make you believe isn't 100% true. I want you to look for reasons in the past and look for reasons in the present that prove to you that you are smart, funny, interesting, curious, not crazy, an adult, all of those things that say that you are not what they say you are. And then what happens after that? when you realize that you move some of that emotion and you take back that power, you realize that you're human, just like everybody else. And everybody gets to decide for themselves what they want to believe. So take some time today. Take 15, 20 minutes. Write it down if you need to. Ask yourself, this is what I believe when I react. And then ask yourself, what do I want to believe? Because your world and your reality is completely up to you. You get to decide to believe whatever you want. You're an adult. You get to decide. So choose wisely. Choose beliefs that nourish you and lift you up and are compassionate for yourself and other people. Choose beliefs that are kind and supportive. Choose beliefs that don't cause you that great inner conflict, that are more balanced and rational. You get to choose those. And even if you don't believe it yet, when you gather enough experiences, when your subconscious gathers enough experiences that support the truth that you want to have, it becomes a new truth. It's like laying new train track for a train. You start to believe, and it takes like 3 days. It's so cool when you're creating new neural connections. It like pulses. Your neural connection like reaches out and then ebbs back and reaches out a little more and ebbs back and reaches out a little more until it makes the connection. So think of your brain as a big train station with all of these tracks, and you're trying to cut off the ones that no longer serve you and create new tracks, lay down new tracks that lead where you want to go, not where you've always gone, not where the narcissist is trying to lead you, but where you decide you want to go. And it's that repetition, it's that looking for new experiences. That's what does it, because you're growing. Your brain is growing all the time. And the cool thing is when you cut off this belief, when you no longer believe it, it doesn't serve you, while you're sleeping, little guys come in your head and clean them up and eat them up. It's really kind of cool. Your body's constantly cleaning up the things that it doesn't need. And so when you decide you don't need this belief anymore, that you're no good and you're a liar and you're worthless and blah, 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 and when you decide that you're normal just like everybody else, when you decide that, then the little guys come in while you're sleeping and get rid of the old belief. It's pretty cool stuff, okay? So I hope you have a great Wednesday, a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, okay? I'll talk to you later.